Welcome to the Fitness Business Podcast, brought to you by Active Management, the world's leading fitness business coaches who in 2015 will help you #grow your business. This is the world's #1 podcast for fitness business owners and managers. We interview real owners and learn what has been working for them to make them so successful. Here's the host of the Fitness Business Podcast, Chantal.
Thanks, Alpha. Hope you guys have had a fantastic week so far. Can you believe we are only 7 weeks out from the end of 2015? How's the year been for you? Have you had a successful 12 months? Let me ask you this. Is there anything that you'd do differently if you had the chance? I tend to find that this time of year is always a good time to reflect on what's worked, what hasn't worked, what you do more of, and what you definitely wouldn't do again. It's a great time for planning, for brainstorming, and for thinking about exciting ideas to take into the new year. So I hope that the Fitness Business Podcast has offered you some great advice and inspiration throughout the year. And just remember, the shows are on iTunes and the website, which is fitnessbusinesspodcast.com, all year round. So if you ever feel that you need that little bit of extra motivation, perhaps information, education, or even inspiration, chances are there's a show or a special guest that has just what you're looking for. So let's dive into this week's show. Let me tell you about our guest. It's JT from Active Management. He is back. And we caught up to chat about books, about HIIT training, and about mystery experiences. It is quite the combination in this week's show. Now, before we head into that interview, don't forget our November prize. We're giving away a copy of the Mike Michalowicz book, Profit First. To hear how you can win, just make sure that you keep listening until the end of the show. Okay, let's do it, guys. Here's my most recent catch up with JT from Active Management. Welcome back, JT.
Hey, Chantal.
What's been going on with you?
Oh, not much. We've hit summer here in Australia, haven't we?
It is lovely.
It's pretty nice.
It's pretty
warm.
nice.
It's good. So, yeah, that's about it. Weather-wise, though.
It. Oh, well, what else? Surely you've been up to some other bits and pieces.
Well, I got to be honest. I did revisit Show 21 in Podtober with a real focus. Show 21 was the one where you interviewed
Robbie Baxter.
That's it, from the membership economy. And I had a real focus on the concept of onboarding.
Yeah, because she spoke a lot about it. What did you find? What did you get out of it?
Well, her theory says that she believes that the key to a successful membership business is the onboarding of new members. She says that onboarding should involve providing a roadmap of what to expect, helping the new member get up to speed to your culture, and providing the knowledge and habits to be a successful member in their new community. Now, I'm not 100% convinced that many clubs or even PT businesses do that with new members or clients. I think they often talk about it in a sales presentation, but I'm not sure if they deliver it. Anyway, she goes on to say that for new members, we need to remove any friction, deliver immediate value, and then reward the desired behaviour that's going to drive the member success. So, I mean, you've read the book as well. Let me ask you, do you have any idea where friction might occur with new members of clubs?
I guess the first thing that comes to my mind is maybe the equipment. I mean, Presumably not every member necessarily remembers how to use, say, the cardio equipment or what weights to be pushing or to be lifting. Do you reckon that would be a friction of integrating them into the club?
Absolutely. That's a great example. And I think that happens across clubs around the world. This friction could simply mean that they join the club and then never come back or never work out as they should be working out. And I think that's just one example of friction in the process. And if they're not working out or they're lost in our big box, do you think we're ever delivering immediate value, let alone having the knowledge for them to be successful?
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I've been working with our clients on what Robbie calls in her book, rinse and repeat. It's a pretty cool name. Where we keep going through the processes that new members go through And we focus on reducing the friction, adding that immediate value, and then providing the knowledge they need to be successful members in the culture of the gym.
That's really cool. So I guess perhaps from a listener point of view, whether they're PT business, a club or a franchise, perhaps what they could be doing is plotting out, say, a journey of a new member, maybe perhaps over 60 or 90 days to see where, things like the friction points are, where they could provide immediate value for their members and perhaps even help them assimilate into the community or the club or the studio.
I reckon it's a great idea and a good challenge for everybody.
Love it. Okay, so I think, tell me, have we moved on from the membership economy book? Have we covered it enough?
I'm not sure about it. Hopefully we've made a few extra sales for Robbie because it is such a good book. But I'm 3/4 of the way through another real mind-expanding book on people starting and dropping out of exercise.
Let me think. The book isn't by any chance called No Sweat by Dr. Michelle Seeger?
Yeah, it is. How did you know that?
That's amazing. Well, as it happens, I saw a review on the book and honestly, it also fascinated me. So do you want to give us any insights from the first 3/4 of the book?
Well, actually, there are heaps and heaps of insights. And it's not so much around the business side of things, but more around how people behave and why they start that exercise. I guess the first one for me is that the sensible goal or reason for starting an exercise program around our lifestyle changes, such as, we want to prevent illness, we want to prevent disease, we want to get better, or even weight loss. It sounds great in theory, but it really only exists achieving that goal in a prospect's vague future. So the average person burns out long before they even get close to that goal because this promise of this brighter day in the future doesn't make us happy right now. Does that make sense?
Totally.
So guess what most fitness businesses market on?
Weight loss.
That's exactly right. But no wonder we can't keep our members because it's too far down the track for them. She also has this great acronym called MAPS, meaning, awareness, permission and strategy. Meaning, awareness, permission and strategy. Can't tell you much about permission and strategy yet because that's what I'm up to.
You're going to have to keep reading.
But I could quickly share the MA bit if you like.
Oh, the MA bit, yes. So you're going to tell us meaning and awareness.
That's it.
Go for it.
One of the interesting things is whatever the meaning your members have to exercise, whatever meaning they have behind the word exercise is completely unique to them. And that has been constructed from their previous interactions with exercise throughout their life. Mm-hmm. So Michelle gives some examples like not being chosen for a team at school when you're a child, really enjoying swimming when you're in a school camp or swimming carnivals at school, not keeping up or coming last at a school athletics carnival, feeling self-conscious at the gym, or relaxing during a bushwalk or a trail hike or something like that. It's a lifetime of these experiences that influence how we see exercise. And if the majority of your exercise history is negative, you will now see exercise as a chore.
That makes complete sense.
Yeah, it sure does. And as parents, we heavily influence our kids' view on exercise. So at home now, I'm really conscious of making sure that when I'm talking to Zoe after I've done some sort of exercise, I don't talk about being tired or being sore or being any pain, let alone mentioning DOMs at all to her. I try to relate the feeling of feeling great after a workout. And hopefully she starts to link the idea of feeling good with exercise, and then she grows up with that. Michelle also talks about HIIT training. Mm-hmm. And you, being a group exercise instructor and person that goes to many gyms, will probably know exactly about high-intensity training.
I know it quite intimately.
Now, she explains that most people have never felt good from working out at a high intensity. Are you putting your hand up to that?
Well, it's a funny thing because I think there's a lot of people that will agree out there, but it's probably a lot of fitness professionals that are going, I don't mind a little bit of high-intensity training.
Well, that's exactly right. But the chances of people sticking with high-intensity training long-term is not great if they've never felt good from working out at this intensity level.
That makes sense, yeah.
She said in the book that if intense exercise increases negative feelings and decreases the positive ones, then sticking with this high-intensity program or exercise in general beyond that initial burst of motivation is highly unlikely.
That is such a huge statement because, I mean, really, if we think about it, most gyms and PTs just go nuts for the HIIT programs all over the world, I would say.
You're right. And perhaps that's a reason why, from my view, the fit are getting fitter and the fat are getting fatter in most societies.
Good kind of outtake from it, yeah.
And then the last thing I want to talk about, where I'm up to in the book, is sort of links nicely with that onboarding and reducing the friction that we talked about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
When your members and clients feel greater ownership toward exercise, i.e. a sense of autonomy, and have more internal reasons to be active, i.e. enjoy exercise, they're more chance of being a long-term exerciser.
Mm-hmm.
So in non-scientific language, when we choose to make movement or activity a regular part of our life for a personally compelling reason, as well as choosing a way to move that makes us feel good, we're more likely to exercise and maintain it. So there's so much cool learning in this book. It's pretty freaky.
That awesome. Sounds pretty good considering you've read 3/4 of it. So
yeah.
I look forward to hearing what you think of the remaining section of the book. And I've got some good news for you because after I actually checked out the review on the book No Sweat, I connected with Michelle, and I'm very excited to say through our little magic of podcast, we are going to interview her.
Very cool.
I know. So we're going to put that interview in December, and I'll be really actually intrigued to find out where she sees gyms and PTs fitting into her no sweat model. So what we'll do is we'll put a link to her book, No Sweat, in show 26 show notes on thefitnessbusinesspodcast.com, and make sure that you tune into Michelle's interview in December.
I've got another idea.
Tell me.
Because she really talks about this concept of motivation,
mm-hmm.
and she really talks about the idea of intrinsic and extrinsic motivation.
Yep.
What if we push that interview to January so it fits in around New Year's resolutions?
I think that makes a lot of sense.
So when you interview her, maybe ask her about the impact of people starting an exercise program on the 1st of January.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense, and I'm pretty sure a lot of our listeners then will be able to take that on board and implement it with their clients at that time of year. So let's do that. So let's say, early January, we'll put that one.
Sounds like
done. Anything else for us?
I've got a big announcement to make.
I feel like we need Harper now. Harper, can we have the drum roll, please? What is it?
I've decided to run my first marathon in 2016.
Oh, my God.
It's a New Year's resolution.
Oh, my God, that's huge.
No, it's not a New Year's resolution.
That is a big announcement.
Yeah, I know, and now I can't get out of it because I've now told the world.
What motivated you to do this?
Well, some would say it's crazy. I admit that,
mm-hmm.
but I had on my bucket list to do a marathon before I was 50. So I'm getting closer. I've got 4 more years to get it done. And so I shared this little bucket list idea with my PT, and his response, like all good personal trainers, was, well, what are you waiting for? And then the dialogue between us, in hindsight, I actually looked back on it and found it quite interesting. And it gave me an insight, I think, and potentially how our members think or our clients think. And it went something like this. I'm waiting because I'm not ready. Yeah, but what are you waiting for? Until I get fitter. But why are you waiting? Because I want to do it before I'm 50. But why are you waiting? Damn you, I don't know why I'm waiting. And when I thought about it, I had no reason on why I was waiting,
mm-hmm.
other than being scared, nervous, worried, my internal limiting beliefs kicking in. And, I was basically in Prochaska's behaviour of change preparation phase where I was saying, yeah, look, I'm going to do this.
Mm-hmm.
It was not like should anymore. It was, I'm going to do it. And the only way to move me from preparation to action was with some education and obviously some support. And so my PT asked all the right questions, coached me to make the decision myself. So Michelle Segar would have been so proud as I've taken ownership of my new goal.
It was your decision.
Yes, that's right. So I guess you could say I was like many members who walk into a club for the first time or into a studio and they're going to start with something, but they just need that support or encouragement or even coaching to let them know that they can do it.
I think you're right with that, GT. I think that sometimes we get into this situation where we rush that initial meeting with a prospect. Perhaps it is because we see them, say, as a commission, not as a person. Perhaps it's because we think that they're not really serious, or perhaps they just don't look right. I guess the thing is we really need to know them and then show them how we can help them.
Yeah, look, I agree with that 100%.
Well, JT, good luck with your training. So when's this marathon that you're doing?
Right. Well, I'm going to do the Gold Coast Marathon in Australia in July 2016. And I'm told if you ever do one marathon, the Gold Coast is the best because it is flat.
That sounds like a good reason to me. Well, make sure you keep us up to date with your training and how you're feeling.
Okay, will do.
So, JT, last month in show 22, you talked about how demographics are not the way to segment our market these days. I hope that everyone out there has had a chance to go and listen to show 22, as there were some really great insights into thinking more closely around our marketing. Now, this month, you said that you're going to share how consumers love mystery experiences.
Yes. See, it's a mystery what I was going to talk about, wasn't it?
It was quite mysterious.
You've been in suspense ever since.
I have been.
So let me take you back to your childhood, Chantel, and listeners. When you went to that local school fete or the church fair and you had that $1 and you went to one of the most popular games for us as kids, the Lucky Dip.
Oh my God, yes, I remember those. They were so cool. You had no idea what you'd win. And if it was junk, you'd never throw it out because you won it.
It's so true. We have plenty of them in our house. What about at Christmas when we have in Australia bonbons or crackers in the US or whatever those little things are that you pull apart with the person sitting next to you at the Christmas table and you just pull them apart and you get so excited when this useless toy flies out and it makes even the oldest adult around the table laugh and giggle with the mystery of what we have received.
You are completely right.
So from a young age, we're really comfortable with mystery, and this trend is starting to gain traction now with the modern consumer. We are generally really used to being in control and having endless choice. But your consumer these days is pursuing the opposite. The chance of a mystery experience or participation of an unknown outcome, all in the name of fun, is what they're seeking. So, for as long as humans that we've been around, this excitement of suspense is captivating for us. Remember that feeling before putting that 6-year-old hand in the Lucky Dip? It's really a leap of faith, and that's what your consumers are excited about. Really a leap of faith. And I reckon it's a really cool way to build retention and perhaps even attract some new members.
Definitely. It makes me feel a bit nervous, the whole idea of it. Nervous excitement though, isn't it? Yeah. So do you have any examples of brands or companies that have used this trend with their customers?
Yeah, I'll give you 4 if you like.
I would love them.
Okay, what about the Dutch airline KLM, who launched in late 2014 the Monday mystery ticket? Obviously, it was on a Monday, but consumers would go to the mystery ticket website and book a €99 ticket to an unknown KLM destination. Destination was revealed on Tuesday and they flew on Friday. In Singapore, Golden Village Cinemas had surprise screening where they screened a movie never seen before in a Singapore cinema. I wonder what sort of movies they were. This one's a bit scary. I'm not sure how I'd feel about this one. But Porsche launched the blind trade in the Netherlands. Dutch motorists were offered a chance to trade in their current car for the chance to win an unannounced new Porsche. Over 2,000 people gambled their own cars, and as of November last year, over 84 million euros worth of cars had been pledged on this blind trade.
That's incredible.
Crazy shit.
Wow.
But the one that I really like, I think this is super cool, is Tim Hortons, which is a coffee chain in Canada. They did a really cool thing. And I'll share the YouTube clip that's been viewed more than 2.5 million times. We'll put it in the show notes. They completely darkened one of their shops and invited people into their dark shop. The consumers could not see a thing inside them. And when you watch the video, it's hysterical to watch them with their hands out, not knowing what's in front of them. But the staff all had night vision goggles on. And this lights out approach was designed to heighten the guests or their consumers' sense of smell and taste as they were launching a brand new dark roast blend.
I actually checked out the video before the podcast today, and it is very cool.
It's
it is
pretty
very
funny,
cool.
isn't it?
And I think that is a perfect example of that kind of nervous excitement that I mentioned earlier.
Yeah, you can see it. You can hear it in their little voice intonations.
Okay, so they're really cool examples. Tell us what about clubs?
Well, a lot of clubs already do this one, and the mysterious experience that I see is this spin and win. Mm-hmm. This is where a member or a new member do something and they've got the opportunity to spin one of those big chocolate wheels to win a prize. Great mystery, full of suspense. Mm-hmm. But you could even do in your club your own lucky dip competition. So when you refer a new member, you dive into a lucky dip barrel with prizes worth $5 to $100.
That's a cool idea.
Yeah, I reckon that would be like... It would be attention, it would be engaging.
And it would be easy to execute.
How easy to execute, yeah.
And share on social media, and that's cool.
It'd be very fun. You could video each person as they put their hand in. Perhaps in group fitness, for something really weird, you could get people to work out in a different spot.
Heaven no.
That might be interesting. But, select a member out of the crowd to come up on stage to do a track with one of the instructors. Or consider going right back into the archives of one of your pre-choreographed classes and surprise them with some retro stuff. Personal trainers could do partner sessions where you don't know who the partner is until the session starts.
Surprise.
Surprise is who you're training with today. And I remember hearing of a club years and years ago that covered up a brand new piece of equipment with a large sheet for a week before it was unveiled. Members could guess what the new piece of equipment was with the opportunity to be one of the first to use it. This made the unveiling of this piece of equipment a highly engaging event for all the members. And I reckon that's suspenseful and pretty cool.
That is really cool.
So the mind really boggles with ways we could actually provide mystery to our members.
It definitely does. So what I'm hearing, JT, is that basically control and choice are the default expectations of most consumers.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
But we will see a rising number of consumers actually happy for you to make the choice for them.
Yep.
Yeah, so they know deep down that the mystery will be worth it. I guess it comes back to that trust factor as well. It'll be worth it, it'll be valuable, and it's going to be at a high standard. Otherwise, why bother doing it?
Correct.
Yeah.
Absolutely right.
Yeah, cool. And I bet, in this day and age, that chances are they're going to instantly share it on their social media page, which is fantastic marketing for you.
Sure is.
Yeah, love that. Great example. That is such a cool trend, JT, so thank you so much for sharing that with us. Now, what do you have for us next month?
Well, next month,
What, have you got something on your mind?
Chantal, I've heard a rumour that I've been brushed for a December show. Is that right?
Yeah, that rumour could be true. But
you may well laugh. You're the laughing assassin.
I wasn't going to tell the listeners.
My feedback not been any good?
I wasn't going to tell the listeners just yet, but what if we test our listeners' love for the trend that you told us about today? What if we keep it a little mystery? We won't let the cat out of the bag just yet. Okay. What if I don't tell everyone why you're not on in December? We'll keep that just our little secret, at least for another 2 weeks.
Great idea. Keep everybody in suspense.
We love suspense. Okay, JT, thanks again. Thanks for joining us, and we'll be seeing you in 2016.
Oh, my gosh.
Happy marathon training.
Oh, thanks, Chantal. Have a happy Chrissy, everybody, and an awesome new year, and I'll come back. Hopefully I'm invited back in 2016.
Thanks, JT.
See ya.
The Fitness Business Podcast is very appreciative of our podcast partners. Here's a quick word from one of our partners.
As you know, one of our goals at the Fitness Business Podcast is to help you grow your business. So I love it when I can tell you about solutions to help you do just that. One of our podcast sponsors is Tribe Team Training, and I'll tell you exactly why you need to remember that name. Let me start by asking you 3 questions. Is your club struggling to grow your membership numbers because of more and more competition? Is your club under pressure to reduce membership fees for your existing members? Do you lose members who go to niche small group programs like CrossFit, boot camps, and boxing, where they often pay double what they're paying with you? Well, the good news is that some clubs have found a new way to grow their club's revenue and profit without having to sell extra memberships. They're doing this by implementing a highly profitable small group training system called Tribe Team Training. In fact, one regional club with only 600 members takes over $200,000 per year on top of their membership fees from their Tribe Team Training program. So, what's it all about? Well, Tribe Team Training is a complete small group training business system that helps clubs make more money without having to sell more memberships. Whether you're currently running small group training or not, it is worth taking the time to see what Tribe Team Training can add to your business. In fact, some clubs have grown to over 30, 40, and 50 sessions per week, with members paying $10 to $15 extra per session. Most clubs have underutilized space or time that can be generating extra cash for the club, extra work for the trainers and the Group X instructors, plus delivering outstanding results for members. The Tribe programs work on large exercise floors and in small functional training spaces with as little as 60 square meters. You may already have functional training equipment, but without the consistent delivery of fresh programs, it's difficult to take maximum advantage of it. Now, regardless of the success of your current programs, Tribe is offering club owners a free online briefing so you can see for yourself the difference between team training and small group training, the difference it can make to your members, the opportunities it gives to your trainers and instructors, and the extra income it can add to your club. So, to register for your free briefing, all you need to do is head over to tribeteamtraining.com or tribeteamtraining.com.au. Let me tell you those addresses again. It's tribeteamtraining.com or tribeteamtraining.com.au. And of course, a copy of both of those website links will be in today's show notes. As you know, each month we give away a fantastic prize to one lucky listener. And this month is no exception, because this month we're giving away a copy of the Mike Michalowicz book, Profit First. Now, in case you missed it, I interviewed Mike in show 24. So if you did miss it, go back and check it out. Now, to win the book, all you need to do is subscribe to the show notes at any time throughout November. Head over to fitnessbusinesspodcast.com. On the right of the homepage is a space that says subscribe to show notes. Leave your name and email and you're in the draw. Do not miss out on this awesome book.
It's time for the Fitness Business Podcast wrap.
Okay, crew, here are our takeaways from today's show. Now, JT spoke to us about author Robbie Kellman-Baxter, and he particularly talked about onboarding. Now, Robbie Kellman-Baxter says that onboarding should involve providing a roadmap of what to expect to help the new member get up to speed on your culture and provide the knowledge and habits to be a successful member in their new community. We also talked about Michelle Segar's book called No Sweat, and we learnt that whatever meaning your members have to exercise is completely unique to them and has to be constructed from their previous interactions with exercise. Now, when it comes to mystery experiences, JT told us that from a young age, we're comfortable with mystery, and this trend is now starting to gain traction with the modern consumer. Therefore, the chance of a mystery experience or participation for an unknown outcome, all in the name of fun, is what the consumer is seeking. Just remember, control and choice are the default expectations of most consumers. However, we will see a rising number of consumers that are happy for you to make that choice for them. So have a think about some of the really cool examples that JT talked about during the show. Now, on next week's show, we've got Christine Thalwitz from ACAC Fitness and Wellness Centres. Now, Christine chats to us about a very special and hugely successful campaign that they run, how it helps charity, their business, and how you can create something similar for your fitness business. Thanks for joining me for another week of the Fitness Business Podcast. I hope you have a fantastic and successful week up ahead. And remember, what you leave behind is not what's engraved in stone monuments, but what is woven into the lives of others.
You have been listening to the world's #1 podcast called the Fitness Business Podcast, brought to you by Active Management. We are dedicated to helping your fitness business #grow in 2015. Check out www.activemgmt.com.au for resources, tools, and more to help you. And by far, the best value for you is to become a member. So join today at www.activemgmt.com.au.